Hi, my name is Red Vela Raye. I'm an oil painter and a poet, and I live in Nebraska in the United States of America. And I'm recording this video because I wanted to have a digital record of my poetry. I've been performing it live every other Monday at a local art club that I am a member of. We'll just leave it at that. And I've just never been able to see my own performances as I'm at the microphone. I can kind of imagine them as they go, but I I don't know. I also want to share it with the world, just in case somebody out there's like, "Whoa. Whoa," or maybe this inspires you to write your own poetry or what have you. Anyways, so I'm going to do a series on YouTube where I just like record each of my pieces and put them on my channel so that people can hear them and see them and let me know what you think about them. And please be nice, because I don't know. I don't take well to mean comments. Um, I'm 30 years old. It doesn't matter. You can tell me I'm I don't give a shit. Oh, I have to edit that because it's YouTube. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna get started. The first one that I'm recording is my longest piece because it seems easier to set the tone with like kind of this, which is kind of like a pretty solid descriptor of my entire immortal soul. Anyways, whatever. I'm gonna stop talking and start reciting. This piece is called On the Descent of the Sun, and the subtitle is Redefining the Metacontextual Landscape of Our Spiritual Quietude Within Our Material Chaos. And it begins, Hello to myself, from the end of times, the closing shift. Hello to the eye connected to mine by the root beneath the thin red veil. Greetings, salutations, namaste, congratulations. The garden stirs and shudders. The ceaseless flowing erodes the bank and bed alike. The humming throng knows and shows it openly in code, not cipher, but meaning. Rhetorical and true, personal and blue. And I weigh read and write, paint and prime, plucking at the o'er-taught silk of space for time. Wending, yes, unending, thrice shed time. But Chronos our subject be not. The why, in fact, bequeath us hunt, perturb our minds it so. The first place birth face, afore the shunt, the first felled domino. Herein shall we chase it, round around each bend. Soon after shall we face it, resounding outward, to what end? When the light hits our droplet, it enters, reflects, and refracts. Reflects, refracts, and recedes. Appendicular re-entry upon the corny A of I imparts hue hewn from our radiant hue in shades 0 through 42. That last brightest true red shown in fullest tone by the turning turnpike point, where the circular band all returns. Shirking infinity, our finite criss-crossed light runs in colors, dispersing intensities such that red appears outside, while blue coats within, and violet rings so true to center as to represent the other side entire. The Mr. E crawls and walks, sings and hums, stares in confusion at both her thumbs, and writes and writes and writes, till you come along, to fix her sights, to check her math, and fix her sights, ahead, no longer behind. The threadbare erstwhile textiles loom grandiose and doomful from and o'er her pasticipations and countercarts, and yet their descent is indeed not hers to lament. Their fall had began before we'd named Atum. And so why? The fork, the path diverge, and thy, our glorious thorn, recombines our form with that before, the braided air untorn. Waiting we, the dormant sea boils away to salt, gathered in lines, piled on high, pillared to reach for the vault. Reaching, preaching too, but to look, to listen, only few, and understanding, sparser too. So here ye are, or here ye read, as these my passages create new creed. Listen well, on each word dwell, as I plant for you new seed. Together shall we learn, or altogether earn, the right by which we skip time its turn. And to what end? Before there was a sun, there existed an age of darkness, a night so black no thing could be seen, no scream torn as hearing warrant, and the voice yet unsung rushed nowhere in an awful, unmoving torrent. The weight of potent things bore against the void from a time everlasting unbegun, crushing outward, pulling inward, struggling to define the very first of a limitless set exceeding aeons. Verily, only the darkness can understand the long night. The sun exists essentially beyond concept and state. The light hides itself to allow the rest which the shadow brings. A shine kept bright by the wisdom of burning out rather than up, preserving the rope ladder, yet the true light might climb down, beckoning a reckoning, desired but never promised, only foreseen. Fact and foresight often at odds, as one alludes, the other eludes, and the searing wind rides in upon the stream. The waters must first flow, the darkness must rain down, for the shine to warm any beyond itself. What purpose itself without an any and all? What is shine without eyes? Warmth without nerves to soothe? The darkness before pouring, a dense fog built for storing all the light would hold dear. And hereupon, with the clouds departed, and the tongues of song laid bare, now can a knowledge and a raw edge be brought upon our share, to plough the field, to till for yield, to quake and shake the earth, to forge a sign, to draw a line, to banish now the dearth. Density be my propensity, halo eth by my claim. Here within my entity, cast out doubt, guilt, and shame. The shadow dwells about me, and protects me with its passing, but praises given lasting remind me again the mass thing, the flesh, the blood, the body, the vessel and its needs, the drink, the food, the raw key, the stresses and their release, skin on skin, limb in limb, returning to the first place, lounging here, loving there, blanketed under gold fleece. The truth of any god is self-loving, self-respecting, and all-inclusive. Love to the ties that bind us, to the grit that grinds us, to the heaven that finds us, one and all. Spirit, life force, science, maker, great good, man. As we understand the whole as I, we may sort it to our preference, but the gift remains given, and much joy remains in the hidden. A forest paved, much time is saved. We'll bear no fruit, we'll provide no shade. Time is ours, not yours alone. It must be seen grand scale. Spend from the cosmic bucket, not from your mortal pail. Apocalypse is but a fright, a day which will not dawn. Play for life, fight for light, that love so carries on. One self, a single droplet, evaporates apace. The river of our many souls meanders uncounted ways. Now returning comes round again, the why and the reason, the cycling seasons. Understanding thorn grows with ease on repetitious treasons. And there it passed, subtle as ever. Did you feel the static slip? The moving without motion? In the moments you held your breath, anticipating, doubting, wondering, or calculating, I built for your mind a bridge over time. Truly were thee the builder, only I giveth thee destination. This and the phoenix became as one, and the man became as billions upon this earth. A constellation of attitudes and behaviors, preferences and differences, deferences, defense mechanisms, and deductions. Stalagmite to stalactite, desert for succulent, mossy forest floors of fungal fruiting bodies, sedimentary layered saline ligaments, segmented city-dwelling solo player sing, bubbling, shuttle rings, passionate blubberings, balls sings. I drove the whole of me into it, not one iota of self left behind. The entirety of my outward persona became roadwork ahead signs and announcements of pardon our dust at all hours. No public appearance of mine was safe from it, that total matter collapse. I stared blankly at peers and saw their humanity through a dragon's eyes, a demon's, an angel's? But whatever I was, I couldn't risk disrupting their peaceful normalcy with self-indulging wish-fulfillment pursuits. Admitting to the earnest daily chase of the lottery seemed tantamount to discussing homicide. A few key friends genuinely believed I could bring us all peace and encouraged my efforts, while others cut me off and chose to act like they hadn't heard. The longer the work dragged on, the more confident I became that I was truly getting somewhere substantial, that my plan was not merely a flight of fancy, but indeed a challenge to be seen the whole way through. Baby, my cat, and I became hungry and restless. The bills piled high. Eviction was threatened a few times. These were fear tactics, stand down commands, and they were not to be borne. My assurance through it all came on the wing of defiance. Lifted by the warmth of spite, it was strengthened. Lifted by the warmth of spite, drawn forward by the lusting of all desire. It was strengthened by each setback, as it and my ego... I don't know why this is getting so much harder. Fuck. Lifted by the warmth of spite, drawn forward by the lusting of all desire. It was strengthened by each setback, as it and my ego grew back faster and faster, following each scalding loss. Hardly ever had I truly hunted a dream in this way, though I had practiced on many games. Now was the twilight of the endless sessions at the screen. I could not yet fully escape it, but I knew the future I sought existed outside, in the winds, under the sun, and behind a great many doors. And so I kept on. Thank you for listening. I don't know if I'm going to edit this or not. Obviously, there were some mistakes in there, so I might edit it. I might just let it naturally flow, though, because I don't really care anymore. Once you get to 30 years old, you kind of stop caring about whether your video footage is properly edited or not. You start caring a lot about what you're going to do next and a lot less about what you've been doing. So, I mean, then that's just from my perspective. I'm sure, like, other people who are 30 and older have probably considered some other paths, but that's just what I found. So anyways, peace. Thanks for listening and watching, and love you. Mwah.